Lions don't run with hyenas, man. Too many hyenas, laughing hyenas, try to play and laugh with a serious game. Lions don't run with hyenas. So they don't understand why you may spend 12, 14, 16 hours in the barbershop because they're a hyena. I know that was powerful. I know. But they don't understand why you get a call in the middle of the night and have to dart off because you have an appointment because someone may have to take a flight. You have built a clientele. You have amassed a business. You got to stand on that. That's part of being a lion, a tiger, American eagle, anything powerful in the jungle. But the hyena, like everything is a joke. Hyenas try to hang around lions. So when they kill something, the hyena can run up and try to take it. You hyenas, you hyenas, you hyenas try to run and laugh and play with a big dog game. I'm talking directly to you. I'm not trying to scold you, but I do want you to know lions don't run with hyenas. Everything is not a joke. Another lovely day. And you best believe I'm glad to be back today. Let Us Become Sharper / TNS podcast. We are back today, just getting in, working on some things. How have you guys been? I hope everything is good. Everything is fair with me for the most part. And basically, we just moving right along. So, we get into the title when we come here. Let Us Become Sharper. And that title is birthed from the career barbering and the barbershop. Always remember the Andy's masters, the master of the game. We always talk about the tools. When I come in here, especially when I'm flying solo, I always like to talk about the tools, the Andy's master. I also like to talk about the pearl-handled razor that I have. Was a gift given to me by a brother. He was a good brother. My brother D. He was over there on the east side, and he gave me a box of tools. And the key was to itemize the box and see what items were salvageable and what items were, not so much. So I took the box, and I'm a master of curating the tools in the industry. So that's something that I did. We put a lot of things together for him. Took the box back to him, and he gifted me from his own personal collection the pearl handle razor. And of course, I always talk about it. I always talk about that razor. I'm not gonna bring it in, but I talk about it all the time. And I got it. I don't even use it, but I have it. I actually have it stored away. I want to put it in the safe. But that's a very, very important tool to me. Larger than life to me, and also the convex of the shears, also that are comparable to the curvature of the earth. So that begins with the title. Let Us Become Sharper. The title / TNS. TNS stands for Thursday Night Society. The Thursday Night Society, a distinct group. The Thursday Night Society hours are from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's every Thursday. Every Thursday night, we start at 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. for the Thursday Night Society, and it's out of this world. The last couple of Thursdays we've been having have been so amazing. And we've been getting such a good reaction and such good attendance on that Thursday night that it's just become like a beautiful thing. The members and the participants of Thursday night are taking it more and more serious. And it's just something that we can't live without. One member actually coined it the once a week holiday. And that's an amazing thing. And that's something that we love to do, which is every Thursday night, like I said before, the society hashtag TNS 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Moving on to what I like to call the narrative. The narrative is like a heartbeat of this life, something concrete. The narrative. The narrative is a script, and the script is the narrative. And I've done a lot of intense brainstorming. because I was downtown one time at Shaw's Barbershop downtown on Broadway, and I was talking to a barber. And the beautiful thing about recollection is that I can remember his name. That barber's name was Terry. Terry, downtown, right where the Broadway at, and then the people mover go across like that. And it's a Buffalo Wild Wings down there, like a couple of doors down now. But it was Shaw's Barbershop right there, guaranteed. And I went down there. My LLC, my Clipper business led me to that location. I got a call. And I went down there and I was talking with Terry. And Terry said something that was very, very intricate to me. See, I've had a lot of experiences within the barber life, the barber industry, that I'm not going to, we don't want to talk about anyone or weed anyone out, but I just want to say that I've had a lot of experiences that a lot of people haven't had. For example, I had the luxury to go down to Shaw's Barbershop downtown on Broadway and talk to Terry. And what Terry told me, he said, listen, I cut hair, I style hair. I've been doing this for Terry, been cutting for a long time. So maybe just, just if I could recollect, 40 years plus for sure downtown. And he said, listen, but my job is not to cut hair. My job is not to be, I get paid for my service, but my job and my career is to think. That's what he told me. And that always stuck with me. Although although you get paid for what you can do, skill wise, a lot of the times a big portion of your career is thinking, using your mind. And that's what I've been doing here lately intensely. I've been using my mind, and I came up with two amazing creations. I tethered them together. I welded them together. The narrative and the script, which are two in the same. The narrative is the script and the script is the narrative. Why is this important? This is important because a lot of people out there are losers. Time is of the essence. We can't pit pat around anymore. A lot of people out there are losers. Now, when you hear the word loser, or use the word loser in reference to another human being that says inhumane, no, that's not true. It's just a simple fact of people are lazy and they don't want to do the work to not be a loser to become a winner. Jordan lost. Yeah, he got cut from his high school team. He really did. He was Jordan, but he was a winner, man. He kept working, and as you can see, the end result. So what I'm saying is, a lot of people out here think that it comes easy, but it doesn't. And a very, very important part of self-esteem and believing in yourself, and for me being an entrepreneur, having to fulfill the duties of entrepreneurship day in and day out. We refer to the narrative, and the narrative is your story, the story of your life. That's what I have been referring to here lately, to understand a lot of the weird things that have been going on in my life and in the media and in the news. It's just been some strange times, but times are always, there always have been throughout history difficult times. But one thing that I've been able to hold on to is the narrative, which is my story. And I've been reverting back to my essence of who I am to determine and actually understand who I am today. Now, back to the losers, what I was talking about. A lot of losers try to forego their narrative. They try to change the narrative and become someone else. Be yourself. Be yourself. When I'm in that barbershop, when I was in that barbershop, the thing was to be myself. I would always be me, because trust me, it's too hard to be someone else 24 hours a day. You can probably fake a couple people, but you eventually who you are is going to show. So the narrative is the script, and the script is the narrative, and the script is nothing but an account of your narrative. So when someone is taking an account of your life or writing the story of your life, make sure that you have the pen. Don't let someone else have the pen. They might write in something what they want to write, and normally they do. Hold your own pen and write your own story. Type, however, create and let the world know your story, my story. This is the narrative. Thank you for your support. thank you for listening to the narrative is the, also part of the script. We give thanks for people who understand our narratives, but everybody has one. But this is the thing. So that's noted. I wanted to get to a little topic that I had today. I came in today with a little topic. I was thinking about what I wanted to discuss with you guys today here on the podcast. I mean, it's a blessing, right? So I was thinking earlier about frustration. And frustration comes when, like, for example, I just give an example. This weekend, I had so many people that I got frustrated. It was so many people coming. And this is a great thing. This is a good thing. This is not nothing bad, what I'm saying. It's a good thing, what I'm saying. So many people come to the shop this weekend, crowded with so much business, so much overflow, that I actually got frustrated. And that's a characteristic of my business. I got a little frustrated. A characteristic of my business is, I have to provide my service until I get upset. Not just the average Joe Schmo that sit around and wait for people. That I get flooded sometimes. And I was really frustrated because, the time is going and, you're trying to get on, you're trying to get to your life. You got things you want to do, but, as like a chef, the recipe calls for you to continue to fulfill the obligation, what you have to do. So I did that. I still stayed, I guess they call it standing on business. I stood on business for sure, but I just got a little frustrated. And in my thoughts about why I've been so frustrated, I just trying to figure out, because I hold conversations with people and you're talking to younger people and not even younger as far as age. You're just talking to people who aren't as experienced as you. And it gets a little frustrating. And that's when I landed at my topic here today, just my personal topic, no panel, just me. But I had to discover something. Lions don't run with hyenas. They're not friends. Lions don't run with hyenas. What does that mean? Why would you say that, CJ? Why would I say that? Let's go into it. Lions don't run with hyenas. A lot of the times we have not paid attention to the fact that you're gaining points. You're building velocity. You're coming into your character the longer you walk the walk. Sometimes we walk the walk so well and walk the walk so long that we become a lion in the jungle. But there are a lot of hyenas that don't understand what the lion goes through, what the tiger goes through. And they come and they try to make light of the journey. This example comes from Thursday night. Now, on my Thursday night, I got people. Everybody that comes on Thursday night is handpicked. If you not fly, Thursday night is not for you. This is a PSA. A lot of times they don't understand what Thursday night is about. They think it's a party. No, it's not a party. It's a society. It's a society of people who don't fit into the general aspect of a thing. For example, a lot of my guys like to come in the shop and wear a solid gold coat. That don't fit into just a regular barbershop scenario. So I put them on Thursday night because that's the night where you're allowed to do so. Lions don't run with hyenas, man. Too many hyenas, laughing hyenas, try to play and laugh with a serious game. Lions don't run with hyenas. So they don't understand why you may spend 12, 14, 16 hours in the barbershop because they're a hyena. I know that was powerful. I know. But they don't understand why you get a call in the middle of the night and have to dart off because you have an appointment because someone may have to take a flight. You have built a clientele. You have amassed a business. You got to stand on that. That's part of being a lion, a tiger, American eagle, anything powerful in the jungle. But the hyena, like everything is a joke. Hyenas try to hang around lions. So when they kill something, the hyena can run up and try to take it. You hyenas try to run and laugh and play with a big dog game I'm talking directly to you. I'm not trying to scold you, but I do want you to know lions don't run with hyenas. Everything is not a joke. There's a difference between jokes and comedy and humor. There's a difference between comedy and playing and humor. You can be humorous, but this is not a joke. When I put down, this is my personal life, my personal example. When I put down, when I begin to do my expertise, you do know that it jeopardizes my household, it jeopardizes my family, it jeopardizes everything that I care about. So I have to be super careful. How could that ever be a joke? So you have to understand that this skill that we display, the hard work that we put in, the intellectual properties that are used and needed to gain the success and to sustain and to move forward in this world, none of that's a joke. But you hyenas come along and make light and make a joke of things that are very, very serious, very intense, very, very important. This is a code. This is a breath. You have to breathe the business. When I was young, I have a relative who is very, very near to my heart. He sat me down at the kitchen table one day and he told me, he said, listen, CJ, one thing you have to always remember to do is breathe the business. I will state that. I will say that here on the podcast. What better environment or opportunity do we have to say so? That's why it's called Let Us Become Sharper. So this is the place where I will share that information that has been key to me. I always say that to people who, when they come and we converse about business or how to, be an entrepreneur or build your business. One thing that I always tell them is you have to breathe the business. Every breath that you do, you're walking and talking of that character. Even when you're not in service, even when you're not at work, even when you're not there, you're still walking like whatever role it is you playing to hold that title. So to hold the Thursday Night Society title, you got to be fly. You can't come in there playing, talking about some, this is a party. It's not a party. It's not a party. It's a society. It's a gathering of elite individuals. That's what Thursday Night Society is all about. Hashtag TNS. But it doesn't end just on Thursday. That's the literal hours. The physical hours are from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. I cut it at 2 a.m. because we're respectable. We want to get everybody home. But TNS don't stop right there. TNS is a code. TNS is a way of life. TNS is to be manifested every day. You got to breathe Thursday. I breathe Thursday. Cut me, I bleed Thursday. This is how serious it is when we are dedicated to something that ultimately greater than ourselves, because we can't achieve it without greatness. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I'm not always great a lot of times, but not all the time. My brothers lift me up. They're there. We have a brotherhood. We have an understanding. Also a sisterhood. We got more women coming to the Thursday Night Society. So this is a great thing. So I speak this way to let you know that you have to breathe the business. You have to believe. You have to breathe the business. It's not a joke. But the hyenas come along and they think everything is a joke. Everything is funny. Everything is a spoof. Everything is laughter and playing and, oh, how can I work a joke in somehow, some way? And you look at their lives and you say, wow, they really did make it happen, man. So I just speak that way, not to talk about them, but I'm just showing you the difference between lions and hyenas. When you come on Thursday night, you better be a lion, a tiger, some type of exotic, powerful animal. You better be a great white shark. You better be something powerful coming up in there. And for the hyenas to try to come in Thursday night, don't do it. Don't do it. Before you come to my Thursday night at 7 p.m., ask yourself, take 5 minutes and ask yourself, am I a lion or could I possibly be a hyena? You'd be surprised at the answer because if you got to ask yourself that question, you're already a hyena. So here we go. Moving on to the rules. Life is consistent. Life consists of rules. You have rules. I have rules. Everybody has rules. One of my rules is, 8/2/22 was the day right here on this very podcast that I made a pledge. Pledge is a very, very hard thing to keep, but I made a pledge. I made a promise. And that promise was a world promise. I remember I was sitting here with Reno and I said, I want to make a world promise. He, had mixed emotions about my world promise. But my world promise was something that I just had to do because I saw a lack thereof. I saw a void. I said, no, I wasn't comfortable with the condition of the world. So I made a world promise, something that I could uphold just myself. You can't change the world without first changing yourself. So I made a pledge to never abandon the hustle. Things ain't happening out here. I was having a conversation with a young lady the other night, and she was talking about, she was drifting, but she was making a lot of sense in her point when she was saying about generations, the generations, the gaps between Generation X, Generation Gen Z, we were talking about that. And I said, okay, that's cool. I get it. But one thing that she did, that she left out of her very, very intellectual, very intelligent conversation was I shot back at her and I said, listen, a lot of things ain't working in a lot of people's lives because they're lacking hustle. People want to work a 6-hour shift, 8-hour shift, go straight home. Overtime. After overtime, some more overtime. You have to work to see the desired results at some point. Everything is not cookie cutter. Sometimes you got to put that hustle in. It's all done with hustle and muscle. That's something that I live by. That's just a code to live by. Yeah, trust me. It's all done with hustle and muscle. Lions don't run with hyenas. Lions are too powerful to run with silly hyenas. And that beef between them been going on because hyenas always try to invade spaces of where lions are. But we don't run with you little hyenas, we just look at you. And why the laughing hyena be laughing on the inside, as a lion, I'm really laughing at you. So these are the rules. It's all done with hustle and muscle. It's a lot of examples that we have and many more that we're going to share for the hustle, the dynamic hustle. I got to give credit to one of my partners, highlight my man, Chris the Barber. I want to talk about Chris, M.O.B. I want to talk about Chris the Barber. Many, many years ago, we were at a barber shop on Woodward, Laverne's Hair Connection. Laverne's Hair Connection was a great place. Laverne's Hair Connection was very, very important part of my life. It's the first shop that I ever worked at. And actually, it goes back so far that my parents had to sign a letter for me to actually work there. This is that long ago. Still living with my parents. Still in high school, actually. And Laverne's Hair Connection, the beautiful thing about Laverne's Hair Connection was there you began to see the hustle. There you began to see how a real salon / barbershop actually functions. And you had Rob Ready. He was one of the best barbers I ever see. We was at the shop just talking about Rob. And we had WT, my brother WT. I see you soon, WT. My brother WT is one of the best barbers. If you ever need a good haircut, you get in touch with WT up there at Park Place on Woodward, and over there in Highland Park, Michigan. And we also have Chris. Oh, my man, Chris. Let's talk about Chris for a minute. Let's talk about Laverne's Hair Connection. Let's talk about Chris. Chris come along out of the blue one day, and he was going through some problems with, I believe at the time was his wife, ex-wife. Right? He was going through some problems, and he came into the shop, and he didn't have much. I'll just say that he didn't have much. It was the first day I ever met him, and he hustled. He went outside. He talked to people. He shook hands, and he's that way to this day. Chris is a hustler. Chris, if you see this, if you're listening, love you, brother. You a hustler with the clippers in your hand and the shears in his hand. That's his expertise. The razor, the shears. He really like an old school barber, old school. Chris been cutting for a very, very long time, much longer than me. And he went out and he mingled and he met people and he shook hands and he spoke to people. He spoke to elderly people and he spoke to kids and mothers with children. Chris was cold with it. He was powerful. He hustled people into the chair and he amassed a clientele. He still has that clientele to this day. So that's an example of it's all done with hustle and muscle. We thank you, Chris, for your service in the barber industry. We appreciate watching you and laughing at you and with you. Sometimes we laughing with you. A couple of times we was laughing at you, but for the most part, we're laughing with you. Always cheerful, always in good spirits. Chris ended up being one of the topics here today because he's an example of it is all done with hustle and muscle. And I want to bring Chris in. I want to bring Chris in on the show, on the panel, and I'll let him talk to you guys very, very soon. I got to get in touch with Chris. I got to call Chris and see if we can set that up for him. But yeah, it's all done with hustle and muscle. Chris is an example. I too am an example. And Laverne's Hair Connection was a great shop. Those days are golden, and it's nothing that can replace them. And those are very, very great memories that I hold. To my supporters, I want to talk to my supporters for a minute. I want to talk to my supporters in business. I want to talk to them. I want to let them know that you're very, very important. And I appreciate all that you have done. All cash is verified. Thank you for helping me be able to float this podcast and complete my ventures that when I set out to do. I'm a guy that has a whole lot of ideas. I'd like to thank you for helping me achieve these goals, and I appreciate you going on this journey with me. To my personal supporters, the people who just come in and support me, been supporting me for years before I had a podcast, I thank you as well for your continued support. I appreciate that more than you know. Like I say, all cash is verified. What that means is anything coming in or anything going out is verified, is accounted for, and is appreciated. I thank you. But coming in tonight, that's about all I want to say to you. I just wanted to kick it with you for a minute. I come in and do my show. But lions and hyenas, I'm going to go a little further with that one. I may stay on that one for a while because that's something that's near and dear to my heart because all them hyenas be out here playing. Oh, man, they be playing. Joking with something that's serious. Man, I know brothers, I know people who done dedicated their life to their art. I know people that have dedicated their lives to the craft. What business do you have playing? You hyenas. You fakers in the game. What business do you have? Ain't nobody saying nothing to y'all. But now, finally, we're going to address you. And not in a malicious way. We're just going to kind of pull your coattail and let you know. You're giggling too much in a real game. My mentor in this game name was Ulysses. And he taught me well. He showed me some things in this game, how to survive in it. But lions don't run with hyenas. Y'all be good out there. Y'all take some time. Y'all kick back. I'll be back to you soon because I can't wait to get back. I got some guys I want to bring. Chris, I want to bring Chris in too. I got some people I want to bring in so we can get a panel and do a podcast with some topics and everything. But I want to run that by you today. That's my time. Be safe out there. Be safe out there. And the weather is tricky right now, but outside of the weather, outside of just enjoying yourself, also keep your head on the swivel and be safe. I'll be doing the same because we living in some tricky times, but trust me, we'll get through. So to the next time, I'll be back. Remember me and let us become sharper. Lions don't run with hyenas.